Hello guys, so welcome back to the crew calling all units comparison test number 33. The comparison tests are 4097 cars where we sort of compare them first in their own categories, hot hatches, sport cars, supercars, that kind of thing, and then the winners go into a winners battle. We have done that for street, dirt, performance and raid a couple of weeks ago, and yeah. Then I kind of stopped with all the things happening from the Crew 2 and Summit stuff going on in summer and stuff. So we still needed to do the circuit specs. So we're gonna start with the hot hatches, and the first one up is the Ford Focus RS. I will put the description of this video. I will put the code for this track in case you want to do it. It's Foxtrot Papa 6 Tango Romeo Foxtrot Quebec. Sorta it's a free drive challenge. Ford Focus is yeah, not that bad, but the main problem I had with it was yeah, the brakes. The brakes are not that good at all. And that this is like has some long straights, this track, but also some hairpins and some very sharp corners, so you need some brakes here, and bit of a problem here and there. We're dealing with traffic, we're dealing with weather conditions, just like I did in the other videos. That's also what you're dealing with if you're doing PvP or drive around in free drive. So one time it will be raining, the other time it won't, but it's not like I'm waiting on the same conditions to test all these cars. That would take way too long as well. So, and the idea is to get all these circuit spec videos out as soon as possible, because I was a bit behind on schedule with those things. I've done all the other specs with 4097 cars, so now quickly gonna do the circuit spec. So in the next upcoming days you will see more videos of these comparison tests, so that we can sort of finish it up. And then we covered all the cars at 4097. There is a playlist about on my channel with the other comparison tests in case you haven't seen them yet. And then you have these different categories. You have in circuit spec we have let's have a look. Hot hatch, sport, supercars, hypercars, we have some muscle cars, we have some retro cars or classic cars, utility, and a couple of bikes. So I'm gonna test them in all the different categories, and then one or two of them will go into the winners battle, and then the last video will be the circuit winners battle. And then we sort of try to determine which is like the best circuit spec overall. This category, the hot hatches, we have the Ford Focus, which I'm driving here, and we have the Mini Cooper. So there are only two cars, so obviously there's only gonna be one in the winners battle. We have the most cars or bikes. The bikes have like 9 or 10 circuit specs, so I'm gonna put 2 of those in the winners battle, and also for the supercars. That's the largest category with even 13 or 14 or maybe even more circuit specs. So also there I'm gonna take 2 into the winners battle. From the other categories 1, and then we will see where we end up. But you have to start somewhere, and as always we start with the hot hatches. .169 is sort of what we did here. Might hit a few things here or there, yeah, but that is also the same. If you do PvP racing or something, it's gonna come down to the same problem. You're gonna encounter traffic, and you're gonna come up with some weather conditions which are different in one race compared to another. Let's have a look at the numbers. 580 horsepower, 850 newton meters of torque, and 1000 kilograms for this one. Contender number 2 is the Mini Cooper, which has 595 horsepower, so it's a bit powerful. 700 newton meters of torque, so which is a bit less, but it also only weighs about 800 kilograms, so that's like 200 kilograms less than the Focus. But yeah, if you're a bit familiar with this game, you can already kind of figure out which one is going to be the best of these two. Because on some tracks this thing can keep up with Ferraris and Ford GTs and stuff. So this should be better. And also on this track it is going to be better. Mainly due to the brakes. This car Focus handles kind of okay, this car also handles okay. But this one has better brakes, so you can make it easier to make turns here. Does suffer a bit from wheel spill if you drive it. What am I driving? I'm driving on Sport and on automatic gearbox. Some cars might work better on full assist, but I never drive on full assist, so I've done this whole series on sports, so I'm also gonna do that for the circuit specs. This thing is smaller than the Focus, of course, which on a track like this already makes it a bit more handleable, but I believe it's also a little bit faster. Acceleration wise it's better as well, so yeah. Just a bit of wheel spin, so you have to play around with the throttle a little bit compared to the Focus, which didn't suffer from it that much. Although it does not have 4-wheel drive. None of the circuit specs in this game have 4-wheel drive, so so what is the best of these two overall? Obviously the Mini Cooper being one of the better street specs, so that's best to use there. Probably top 3 in street next to the BRZ and the Skyline. In dirt it's gonna be the other way around. In dirt the Focus is better. And in rate it depends a bit on the track. I think in the test track that I used for the comparison test, I think the Focus came out pretty okay, but the Mini Cooper has more speed there in rate as well. And in performance spec, the Ford Focus, yeah, mainly because it's one of those cars that can wall ride. So on a track like this you could go from one wall to another without losing too much speed, and then performance the Focus will win, but other than that the Mini is also pretty okay in of course not compared to the hypercars, but within the hot hatch category, which is one of those things they did not use in this game. That's the problem. They have these categories but they didn't do anything with it. So like this it would be great if we could actually drive hot hatches against hot hatches in some sort of PvP race, but with a 331.7 it is about 5 seconds faster than the Focus on this track. It might be different on other tracks, but I do not think so. The Mini Cooper is one of the better circuit specs if you don't have the season pass, it's one of those cars that, especially on certain tracks, you can give the Ferrari 458s and all that kind, which are considered to be the better circuit specs. You can give it a fight for their money with these cars. Focus, yeah, if you're used to it, might be an option as well, but for the hot hatches, it's pretty simple. There's 5 seconds difference. The winner is the Mini Cooper. So that will go into the winners battle, and once we have 10 cars in that battle, then I will make a video of that. But we need to find a couple of other winners first, and next up will be the sports cars with about 7 contenders. I will see you guys in that one, and bye for now.